My new supervisor told me to ignore an open server room door, so I called the client anyway. I worked night security at a 40-story office building in downtown Chicago. My shift was 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I walked the floors, checked doors, watched cameras, and wrote things down when something was off. I'd done it for 8 years, so I knew which locks were weak and which tenants got careless after hours. Then, corporate hired a new security supervisor named Mike. He was around 30 and talked down to me from day one. He'd call me a flashlight holder and laugh if I took notes. If I reported a problem, he'd say, "You're not the FBI. Just check the doors and move on." He also pushed us to skip steps. Stop double-checking certain doors. Stop calling tenants for small stuff. Stop logging every violation because it wastes time. I kept doing my rounds the right way. One Tuesday night in November, Mike said he was going to shadow me. He followed me with a clipboard, timing me, sighing whenever I stopped to test a latch. On the 15th floor, he said, "You're so slow. Any monkey could do this job faster." We turned the corner and I stopped cold. The door to Hartwell and Associates was propped open with a brick. That door led toward their server room and file area. It was supposed to be locked and alarmed. I could see the dark hallway inside, and the keypad light was blinking. I pulled out my incident pad and started writing the time. Mike grabbed my arm and snapped, "Don't bother. They do that for air. Servers run hot." I stared at him. "Mike, that's a massive security problem." He laughed like I was joking. "Relax, Sherlock. You're just a night watchman," he said. Then he added, "You couldn't even make it as a real cop." I pulled out my phone and opened the emergency contact list for that firm. It was 2:15 a.m. Mike's face changed fast. "Don't you dare call them," he said, reaching for my phone. I stepped back and hit call anyway. The phone rang and Mike hissed, "You're going to get us fired." A man answered, half asleep. "Hello?" I said. "Mr. Johnson, sorry to wake you. This is Danny, building security. I'm outside your office right now and your server room door is propped open with a brick. My supervisor wants me to ignore it, but I can't." He was awake instantly. "Is anyone there?" "Don't touch anything," he said. I looked again. The hall was empty, but one camera above the door was angled wrong, like someone nudged it away. "No one in sight," I said. "But a camera looks moved." He didn't hesitate. "Stay there. We're coming now," he said. I ended the call. Mike was pale, staring at me like I'd just lit a fuse. "You called a client at 2 in the morning," he whispered. Mike paced behind me and kept saying, "Just close it," like that would fix it. 10 minutes later, he tried to push past me. "I'll shut it," he said. I blocked him. "No," I said. "Not until they get here." About 20 minutes after my call, the elevator opened and 3 people stepped out quick, eyes up. Mr. Johnson was there with 2 other partners. With them was a private security guy carrying a laptop bag. Mr. Johnson went straight to the door, crouched, and stared at the brick. "We do not prop this door," he said sharp. Mike tried to jump in. "It's for airflow," he said. Mr. Johnson looked up at him, furious. "No, it isn't." The private security guy asked for access to the camera system. Mike fumbled his keycard and tried to act calm, but his hands were shaking. They pulled up hallway footage, then the stairwell. The private guy paused the video and pointed at a hooded person coming up the stairs after midnight. The person didn't struggle with the lock at all. They walked right to the propped door and slipped inside like they knew it would be open. Mr. Johnson exhaled hard. "We've had weird access issues," he said. "Files opened after hours. Things moved." He looked at me. "You normally log stuff like this?" "Every time," I said. He glanced at Mike. "And you told him not to?" Mike snapped. "That's not what I said," but it came out thin. Mr. Johnson called building management on speaker. By 4 a.m., 2 managers and a corporate security rep showed up. They watched the clip, then asked Mike why doors were being treated like they didn't matter. Mike tried to smile. "I was streamlining," he said. The corporate rep didn't smile back. "Streamlining into a breach," he said. Mike started blaming me, saying I overreacted and broke chain of command by calling a tenant. Mr. Johnson cut him off. "Your guard did his job," he said, pointing at me. "You didn't." The manager took my notes. He told me to write the full incident report right there. Then he turned to Mike and said, "Hand over your badge." Mike froze. The rep repeated it, slow and clear. Mike unclipped the badge with stiff fingers and slapped it into the manager's hand. The manager said, "You're suspended. Leave the building now." Mike stared at me, eyes hard, then walked to the elevator in silence while everyone watched, and the doors shut on him. Now coworkers are saying I broke the rules by calling at 2 a.m. Was I wrong?